Here at Tom's DIY Investing, we help people improve their financial knowledge. Our content ranges from financial news to personal finance tips and investing guides for real estate and stock market. We want to help you get past financial struggles so that you get closer to your goals. It can be challenging to understand the world of finance without adequate assistance and support. We can help you go through various financial challenges and find the best solutions. This is all free knowledge about money. Plus, we keep you up to date with the latest industry news. Tom's DIY Investing is the ideal place for anyone interested in investing, improving their financial knowledge, and navigating any potential financial hurdle. We post new insightful videos very often. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the statement of profit and loss of a company named Attahu Limited. In our last video, we talked about the statement of financial position of Attahu Limited. Now today, we are going to talk about the statement of profit or loss. So, as the name states, the statement of financial position contains the financial position about the company, which includes current assets, non-current assets, current liability, non-current liability, and equity of that specific company. When we talk about the statement of profit or loss, as the name states, it has the same meaning, whether the company is earning profit or it is making losses over the period of its life cycle. So when we talk about the financial position, we have come to know about some terms named assets, liabilities, and equity. In the same manner, when we talk about the profit or loss statement, we will come across some terms, that is revenue and expenses. So what is revenue? You have started a company which is selling, for example, meat. So the total meat you sold during the year is your revenue. It is not your profit. You have to deduct something that is called expense from that specific revenue figure to know what is your profit. So what are the expenses? How do you know which expense is related to which revenue? If you have multiple revenue streams, that is, if you are dealing in meat business, also you are dealing in dairy business, then you should know that what is the profit of dairy business and what is the profit of meat business. And for that purpose, you should know that what is the revenue of meat business and what is the revenue of dairy business. So after deducting the expenses related to both businesses, you will be able to find the profit figure or the loss figure for that specific business. If you are making a loss, then you have to reconsider the business, you have to reconsider the expenses, or you have to change your marketing policy so that you can increase your overall revenue over the period of time. So when I talk about the whole limited financial and it contains profit for the period, we have to understand how this profit is made up, how much revenue a company has generated as compared to last year, whether it is growing or the business is declining over the period. We can see that it has revenue of 1.8 billion in 2020 and 2.5 billion in 2021. It is a growth. It means the company revenue has grown. There can be many possible reasons for increasing in revenue. For example, the company is now targeting a new market segment, or the company has increased the product portfolio. So there are multiple reasons in when you are talking about a specific company and it says you the company has increased their overall revenue over the period of time. So moving on to the other thing, there are operating costs. When you talk about the operating cost of a company, what it say, if you have meat business, you have to incur some expenses. The basic expenses that are related to your sale, these are not admin nature, these are not selling nature, but these are the expenses that you need to incur to make sale, so that you can get a gross profit. So moving on to what are these expenses. If you are selling meat, then you have different type of expenses. That is, if you have a farm, you will have a feed cost, you have to spend medicine cost for the animal, so that they are not get sick. There will be a diesel cost, utilities expenses including electricity bill, gas bill, there will be insemination, that is Siemens related cost. So that these are all the different types of costs that will be incurred at your farm, including salary expenses. So these are all the expenses that you need to incur to generate the specific product that you want to sell. Selling something is something else. That is expenses related to selling, to marketing is your selling and marketing expense. You have a product and you want to sell in the market. First, the cost of that product is considered in operating cost. Then when you go to the market, you advertise that specific product, you give commissions, you use social media advertisement or any other channel. Now you hire employees for that purpose, so their salaries, the advertisement cost, their traveling cost, any other cost that is related to that specific department is selling and marketing expense. So the more you spend on marketing, the more chances are there that you will earn profit. So there is always a direct relation between sales and marketing expenses and sales that you earn over the period of time. So moving on to our financial statement, there will be some selling and distribution expenses, there will be some operating cost, and there will be some admin expenses. Although you have your product, you have your selling and marketing department, you have both, but to manage all these both department, you have some people in the admin department who will record all the transaction that will occur in the financial department and other department. So moving on to this, we have seen that the company's operating cost has grown from 2.3 billion to 3.3 billion. You can see that the overall cost is increased and the total revenue is also increased. It has two reasons. I will let you know later, but just for now we will move to selling and marketing expenses. So when we talk about the selling and marketing expenses, you can see that the total marketing expense is increased from 264 million to 280 million. It means that the company has not spent too much money on marketing, but has increased a lot of revenue from 1.8 billion to 2.5 billion, which means that there is around 7 billion increase. There is an amount, it is a huge amount. You have only increased your selling expenses from 264 to 280, that is around 16 million. You have increased your expenses by 16 million, and you have increased your revenue from 1.8 billion to 2.5 billion, that is 7 billion, which is a lot. So if you see the operating cost, it is huge. There is an increase of around 10 billion. Why is it? It can be a gross loss, but the company is showing a profit, uh, there is reason, because it is a dairy company. There are some standards that are applicable that recognizes some notional gains that are not related to reality, but are just recognized to show the investor that how much the milk is produced, how much the herd has grown. So we have to deduct those related gains from that operating cost. So there is a gain of around 1.5 billion on initial recognition of milk. It means that the company has extracted around 1.5 billion liter milk in PKR from the cows. In the last year, the company has 903 million. It means that this revenue is increased not because of any other thing, but it is increased because the company is able to grow or extract a higher quantity of milk from the cows. That is, if we see the figure, we have increased the milk from 903 million to 1542 million. There is an increase of 600 million in the milk. So it means that we might have increased our overall herd, due to which the overall operating cost is increased, and we are using push strategy, not a different strategy, that is pull strategy, to run our business. Because our marketing expenses is not increased that much, our overall milk capacity is increased, our milk production is increased by a tremendous amount, and our revenue is increased. So it means that the company is trying to push its limit on production side, and will push that specific product, that is milk, into the market. It will result in replace or other things, or you can see that the overall operating cost will increase is by 10 million. If you deduct the 1.5 billion, it will get something reasonable. So these are things that you should know, whether if you are looking at a textile company, there will be revenue, operating cost and profit. There is no other thing like gains or notional gains and other things. But in dairy industry, you will come across some gains that are recognized under international accounting standards, that you should know that how to handle these specific gains, because these are the gains that will help you understand the financial statement in a better way. The company may be in loss, but in actual, these gains or losses are making the company a profitable and a loss making unit. So while investing in such companies, especially a dairy sector, you should know that what are these gains. There are normally two types of gains that are recognized in financial statement. The number one is related to extraction of milk. You have to recognize a gain related to the milk that is extracted from the cow, and the other gain is related to your fair value changes in the biological assets. So what are the biological assets? Biological assets are something that we will discuss in our next video, but I will give you a hint. Biological assets are the living animals, living things that are recognized under specific accounting standard, which is called IAS 41 agriculture. So anything that we get from biological asset is agriculture produce, and we recognize it at fair value less cost to sell. So if we say we have cows are biological asset, and the milk we extract from them is our agriculture produce. So thank you so much for this for watching this video. I will looking forward to meet you in our next video. Take care.